Okay.
She does this.
We're on live.
Okay, let's get this thing going. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance, please.
You're wanting the music?
Yes, meeting is over. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would anyone care to do an invocation? Invocation.
Blessings on
Blessing or whatever.
Lookingglass.
Okay, with that, we'll do the roll call. Jerry here. Alan Smith is here. Candace Spears.
Yes.
Bill Starnes is not. And Chief Rhodes is here.
I am. And Bill, I had surgery and he's going to be off for probably, I think he'll be here next month, but he's in rehab for about 6 weeks.
He's doing okay?
Yeah, the surgery is supposed to be successful.
Good.
Is that his back?
Shoulder.
Shoulder.
Okay. Additions to the monthly agenda. We need to review the position number 3 board member. And Rob Holbeck has so graciously stepped in the ring. And with that, I guess we want to go over his application or anything beforehand, or we've already done that?
Well, I think we should say that some board members did, and the
Interview.
chief met with Rob, interviewed him. We reviewed his application, asked him some questions. He asked us some questions, and if I can say, I think we were very pleased with his background, with his various experiences, having served on other boards and in leadership positions. And we asked him if he felt if he were appointed to this board position, would he be comfortable being elected then as president and starting right away? And he indicated he would be.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Rob. And I guess we will do the swearing.
We need to have a motion.
We need to.
I move to approve appointing Rob Holbeck to board position 2.
Number 3.
Isn't it?
Position number 3, that's what I,
Oh, I thought you had said you
That's
were.
the 3 minutes.
It is board position 3?
3, yes. That's what I've got on my list, I found.
Do you have web access?
No.
Okay, I want to verify that real quickly if I may. Oh, you have the list.
Cause problems.
Oh, thank you. It is board position 3. Thank you. So that's for the motion, board position.
Okay, anybody second that? I guess I can. I'll second that. All in favor?
Is there going to be discussion?
Discussion?
Discussion? Okay.
I'm opposed to Rob being appointed to position number 3 because I'm afraid it will take away from his commitment to the Lookingglass Range.
Rob, do you have a response?
My goal is to be involved in the community, and the Grange is near and dear to my heart. My job is filling where needed, and so connecting my students with the community. So I hope to bring a lot of young bodies into both the Grange and the fire district.
All right, I just want that noted in the minutes.
That she's taking care of that.
If I might add, Ann, the person making that comment, is the president of the Lookingglass Range.
That would be Master.
Oh, you go by Master.
Yes.
Or the master?
Or
Or just
the
master?
Master of the Lookingglass Range, yes. Thank you.
Either term actually is acceptable, according to the Grange handbook.
Yes.
All right,
All right, with that, we will vote. And all those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Candace, are you in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Okay, it's approved, passed. Welcome, Rob.
Thank you.
Yeehaw! What's your last name, Rob?
If you want to swear him into the board position, then we could vote on the officer position. Yeah, first he has to be sworn in as a board director.
Oh,
And then we need to vote for the president.
Okay.
Will you give me a
Repeat after
second?
me. Do you solemnly, Robert Holbeck, do you solemnly swear, or maybe you should repeat this. Do you solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Oregon and the laws thereof, and faithfully and honorably conduct myself in the office of the Lookingglass Rural Fire Department Board of Directors, to which I have been appointed to the best of my ability, so help me God.
I do affirm.
Very well.
And he's decided
Right here.
Yay, Rob!
I will sign it. This was in some folder somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah. So now we would, as a board, and Rob's now a board
Board
member,
member.
so he can vote also. We need to vote on the, I move to have Robert Holbeck as president of the board.
The board.
We
Would
need a
that take
second?
effect this meeting?
It would take effect today, right now, yeah. Do we have a second?
I will second that. On the 12th of February. We're going too fast, Kim?
I do it just. But it's okay.
Okay, you made a motion?
I made a motion, you seconded it, now you need to ask for a vote.
Do you have, is this anybody discussion? Okay, I call for the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? I hear none. Welcome.
Thank you.
Robert has his president's binder there.
All right.
All right, well, continuing on with the agenda, have all the board members had a chance to review the minutes?
Previous one.
I
Yeah, and we
need-
have some corrections.
Okay.
So,
I need to read the changes.
you want?
Yeah. Yeah, or I can just read what I wrote, but it's on another page. So I unbolded the second page that shouldn't have been bolded. And I also, Jerry helped me. And so on number 4, communication report, Jerry took Paris read his report. January 31st, was deadline 2, receive applications for the vacant board position. And then went on with non-emergency 911, number 2, safety page on the website. And moved it. So that was changed, the bolded was changed. So now if you like those changes, now we can do it.
Okay,
I move to approve the minutes as corrected.
okay, it's been
Second.
moved, seconded. All those in favor of approving the minutes as corrected, please say aye.
Aye.
Can I say
Yeah.
that? Aye.
Opposed, nay? Minutes are approved. Financial report.
If you guys don't mind, I'll take care of that. Bill, like I said, is out. In fact, I had spoken to him tonight, so just to start, the online banking has been taken care of from his part, and we're still working with Trista so that they'll have business access to her online banking. She can get bank statements and stuff, but not make any transactions. And we're gonna be, actually, I'm meeting with him in the morning, and we're gonna take the information down to her so she can sign whatever she uses. So the financial report, it didn't get emailed today. I got a hard copy from Trista, and we were bookkeeping, so we'll work on that tomorrow, then we'll all get it emailed so we get on the website. We had a beginning, we actually had a beginning bank balance of $237,500, $519.34. The checking balance was $9,411.65. We got interest of 37 cents. We received taxes last month of $1,458.77, and we transferred in $3,000 in money market. So the total deposits, cash deposits were $44,59.14. We wrote checks in the amount of $22,086.80. I want to go over some of the bigger ones just to let you know what's going on. Alan Saban, I'd like to move that up because it's part of the financial report already. There has been a check written, but can we approve, we want to discuss it later.
Now, okay, is that included in the budget already for that item?
Yes.
Then, as far as I know, we don't, I'm not sure that we need to approve it.
Okay.
Or is it,
Well, I know
or
we
is
have-
it an additional check?
We have it later in the agenda that we're gonna discuss it and
Oh.
talk about it, but, well, so there's a check for $12,500, if approved by the board tonight, that will be for the purchase and placement of emergency generator, emergency power for the fire station. That was approved, we have $9,000 from our capital fund approved for that, and we have a $5,000 matching grant from SDAO. As soon as that thing is put on the ground and we take a picture of it, we send it in, and SDAO will refund us $5,000.
So then we'll actually be below what we had budgeted, right?
Right. The other big bill was special district, our annual liability and property was $7,211, which is actually $400 under budget. And we're in their rate check now, so that we're actually, for 2 years, our rate is guaranteed at no more than 5% increase, and also we'll be getting some, kind of like a kicker back every year, about $400 to $500. So, with that $12,500 check, we were actually 9,000 something, we would be $9,000 negative in our checking account. Nothing's been issued or nothing's been cashed or anything yet. So I talked to Bill
You're
about
saying
that.
for dispensing these checks, we need to get a transfer?
Right, so I talked to him already today about that, and he's gonna do that online.
Bill will be able to do that?
Right.
He can do
Yes.
this.
I'm sorry, what? You could say that a transfer will be made in checking to cover the checks.
So after that's all done, we'll have $223,688.55 in the money market. And just to add on to that is we have about $15,000 right now in grant reimbursements that are out. I expect the VFA one was $9,800. That'll be back, it's usually back at the March meeting. And then we have a $5,000 SDO check that will be back. So we have, just say we have $14,000 kind of out there waiting to be mailed back.
Steve, are there any other checks that were written after this was printed that need to be approved?
I would like to ask that we write the water bill. The water bill came in, and we usually pay 6 months ahead,
Right.
and it actually came out about $63, I believe, where it's at. So you're on the table. So, more, so I recommend that we just write for that amount this month, and then Bill, we could prepay for the rest of your next month. So that'll be an additional.
So we need to
$65.40.
$65.40.
I'm sorry that was so difficult tonight.
Is that right here? The water
This?
bill check?
That's,
Oh, no, it's monthly,
no,
no.
it's not. We usually pay $600 in July and $600 when we run out. It's budgeted for $1,200 a year, and we just ran out now in February, so we're actually, so we're not monthly, I don't know, too, so.
Anything else on the treasurer's?
No. I think not. I will get the digital copy of the treasurer's report.
Okay, is there a motion to pay the bills?
I move to pay the bills, including the additional bill to Cook Basin Water District for $65.40.
Okay, is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of the motion to pay the bills, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Okay, Jerry, do you have a communications report?
Right. All right, for the website updates, posted approved documents, meeting videos, minutes, blotter calls, treasurer's reports, chief's reports, scanned the website, including emails with viruses, and deleted any that were present. There were no files with apparent viruses in the district email account and none on the website. There was at least one phishing mail, such as one from the Ukraine that was sent from a Gmail account. Last month I mentioned that I put blocks on various country codes like Ukraine, Brazil, wherever. But this came through a Gmail account, so it got through. And it's basically somebody from the Ukraine wanting us to send them, badges or something, patches from the district, and we ignore those. I improved the formatting of the safety page and added the Sheriff's Office 911 non-emergency phone number, which is 541-440-4471, and also the online reporting address. So there's a web address that's linked now. You can get directly to it if you need to do a non-emergency reporting of some incident. It could be a minor crime or some other thing that doesn't need an immediate emergency response. Or one reason I also wanted to do it was to arrange for testing of smart device emergency calls. Let's say you're an elderly person and you have one of those pendants where you can press a button, you program into it who you want it to call, but you don't want to press the button and have a call emergency right now when you don't need to. So if you call ahead of time, you can schedule an appointment to have it tested. Or maybe you have a smartwatch or with a cell phone where you want to be able to test out that you can get quickly to emergency. This is a way you can do it by making that arrangement. Okay. I revised the layout of the blotter page for easier updating in the future, and also for being able now to make a comparison between any 2 years of the blotter. So from back in 2012-13, I think is the first one blotter call we have. So anywhere from 2012-13 up to our 2019 to 20 blotter calls, you can compare 2 years side by side. Proposed changes to review and fix any website accessibility issues. Requests for suggestions. If anybody has any suggestions for improving the website, or if you think there's mistakes, something needs to be corrected, please let me know. I have right now on the volunteers page the trainings listed just through February, so I will be updating that also. Communications with agencies, received texts of fire department 911 dispatches, received email newsletters from SDAO, received notices from DFPA. Communications with fire department, list of December blotter calls and report were received from the chief. Communications with community, posted public notice for February board meeting on the district website and next door and at the fire station. And regarding next door, we did have some responses to the publication. One person gave it a thumbs up, a like. Another person actually gave a response saying, "Lookingglass Fire Department, they are fantastic." That was a community member, not a board member or volunteer who did that.
It was a member from our public.
A member of the public, not affiliated with the district or fire department. Communications equipment, updated software on district computer, and Steve, I will want to get together with you to review like the laptops if you need any help from me in doing any updates, and especially for the old computer, which we had put the Ubuntu operating system on that, made that available for the volunteers to use if they wanted to. Perhaps at the next board meeting we need to discuss if that is still of any use, or do we need to dispense with that computer. Any questions for me?
I want to say thanks, Jerry, for all your good work, but is there anybody to fill your shoes once you're gone? Do you know of anybody? I'm serious.
Well, with my health issues, I probably will not be going up for re-election.
That's what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
and you got friends that are willing?
I keep asking.
Okay, thank you very much, Jerry. Public comment, is there anyone that would like to address the board?
I'm not sure if I should be here or on number 11.
Is it new business? It doesn't have to, yes. So.
Okay, so I'll just go ahead then. My name is Ann Smith, and I'm here representing the Lookingglass Grange. And we are doing a pancake dinner on February 23rd from 4 to 6. And we would like to invite the whole board of the fire department and any volunteers. Any of you that show up, the men are required to cook, which should be real fun. Rob has already indicated that he's going to be active in the Grange, so.
I'll be flipping fucking.
But the point of the pancake dinner is it is free, and it is to foster better communications within the community for the different organizations. So it would be great if some members of the fire board would show
And
up.
what date is that?
February 23rd, it's a Sunday, from 4 to 6,
And at the Grange.
at the Grange Hall, yes.
Thank you for the invitation.
We'll be bringing that up at our Thursday meeting too, to get some help here.
Yeah. It's fun times, it's just trying to kind of get to know your neighbors and who's active in the community and between the different entities, and there aren't many in Lookingglass, so y'all should come.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
Thank you, Ann.
Yep. Thank you. Seeing none, we'll proceed into the fire chief's report.
To start off the report, the yearly report is not done. I've been working with Bob Scott, my assistant chief, and Patricia back here. We got all the data out and everything. I had about another hour to finish it off, and I spent all day today doing ranch stuff and animal stuff when I got home. It didn't happen, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna have it done, and I'll just distribute to you guys by mail, and then by the next meeting we'll be able to do it. I can tell just a few statistics. We had 172 incidents last year, 144 in our area, and 28 were automatic aid and mutual aid to other areas. I will say that a pretty amazing fact, there's a big zero written on the board there because we had 0 structure fires in our area last year with no damage, no injuries, which was, we'd like to take credit for this, our wonderful fire prevention, but I can't take credit. It was an anomaly. But we'll take it because we'd rather have that one than this one. Going on to the February 12th report. January, we had 12 total calls. There were 10 medical aids and 2 structure fire responses. Actually, we got our first structure fire. We had 1 structure fire in the District 2. It was a working fire over in the Melrose area. And then we had a small barn fire on Lookingglass Road right after the New Year. Minimal damage. An Oregon State Police trooper was driving by and saw the fire in the barn. Stopped, got the owner. They attacked it with a garden hose and knocked it down pretty good. It was electrical in nature, and we arrived and helped them overhaul it. So anyway, we started off the year with a small one. That was good. Our training this month, we did our fit test and annual SCBA refresher, OSHA safety meeting, and 2 nights of communications. And part of that communications is a night of address area orientation where we're developing the younger guys the younger men and women to get a map book, dispatch them to a call. We actually bring a dispatcher from the county out here, and she works out of this room as a dispatcher, sends them out on calls and see, first of all, if they can find where they're going, and then what type of call, are they ready to work, their report on conditions, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of interesting. We attended a community wildfire protection plan public training in Wilson City Hall. It wasn't too well attended from the community. We had 1 person there, right, and he was there because he had paid double billed him on his taxes. but we had a good interaction with all the different groups. We outnumbered everybody. 4 of our officers attended the hazardous materials pipeline response drill in Roseburg this month. We've been doing that one each year. It was a good class. Bob Scott has put in a lot of work with the North County Fire, and that's Rank's affiliate up there. So our online fire training is up and running, and we're getting notices in my email every day about what I need and what I don't need and what's expiring and everything. And so some of the firefighters and the youngsters, you can fast track through the firefighter one program by using that online system. And it's up and running and working pretty good now. That came from a grant from the state. I think they got a $10,000 grant last year to start that kind of stuff. We're setting up the UCC Broom Trail. It'll be here in March, probably the second week, so we'll have it for a month also. We also, I didn't have on my thing here, but we finished it. We formed up the annual training calendar for 2021, so we'll give you more than February, Jerry, for the thing. Got some pretty good stuff coming up. The firefighters are continuing to work towards a firefighter on driver operator online training, and the explorers are still on those. We re-registered the explorers. We have 4 of them right now, and as time goes on, maybe we'll get some more this year.
How do you recruit those?
I was recruiting them out of Douglas High School when I was down there teaching, but I'm not anymore. So right now it's word of mouth. Maybe our president here.
I was just saying, maybe a new board member can get that word out in high school.
Yeah. Right now, UCC isn't involved in the high school right now, but maybe that's going to happen again, we hope.
So, Rob,
Yes.
why don't we contact ESD and announce it at the superintendent's meeting?
Put it there and then also out through the homeschool network.
Perfect. Yeah.
Steve?
The reason we went along with the Boy Scout Explorer program, by the way, now it's going to be called Scouting USA or something. But the reason we did it was that they provide insurance for the minors, so we don't have to do that through. Well, that's one reason. The scouting program, I can't do that. It's an awesome program, but it solves some problems for us as far as insurance, with our insurance and liability insurance here on the site, because Boy Scouts of America covers their health and liability while they're here as explorers.
Steve, excuse me, would it be worthwhile if you wrote up just a little blurb about wanting to recruit people to the Explorer program? We put it on Nextdoor,
Yeah, we could.
because we do have a Nextdoor
Give
account.
some good pictures to go along with it.
Also, when I signed up Kevin was because I drove by and I saw it posted out on the fence that said.
Oh, that's right, we did have a poster.
We have a banner upstairs, actually.
Okay.
That's, I mean,
Because
it
it
just
takes
happened to be
photos
right at
of
the right
it.
time.
Let's see, those are all good ideas, thank you. And
Yeah.
the first group we started, I think we had 9, and shoot, those guys are they're all adults now, going to college and volunteering here and everything else, so it turned out really well. For equipment, 1080, our new brush truck, the defroster and heater went out on it, so we had it repaired, the invoice is paid tonight with the credit card. Installed a battery minder on the 1090, the vehicle that was donated by District 2 to keep the battery charged on it. We're starting to put some electrical equipment on it that's draining the batteries. We're still putting in place some equipment units, and we're trying to identify surplus equipment. We have a lot of surplus stuff that was donated to us a few years ago. We have more than we need, so Glide has expressed some interest in some of the turnouts that were donated to us for their Explorers, so we're going through to see what's good enough. One pair of turnout pants was found damaged by fire, and I'm guessing it was the fire over in Melrose. And while we were washing it, we usually do an inspection afterwards, and the outside and inside was damaged. The firefighter must have not got burned because I never heard about it, but it did its job. But we have to send that in and see if they can repair it or it's going to be surplus. Met with Saban Electric to start the first phase of that electrical project. The initial check was written tonight. Matching grant from SDO will be reimbursed as soon as the pictures are taken. That's how they do it. Once they see the picture, I just email it to them and they send it back. It's a real good benefit we have in it. Let's see, SDO, SDIS insurance invoice is up tonight. That was $7,211. FEMA grant application has opened again for this year. We're working on 2 separate grants. One of them is a joint grant with District 2 for self-contained breathing apparatus. And now it's up to District 2. There's 6 other fire departments involved in that grant. So regional grants usually have a better chance of happening. Our new bid on that It's about $128,000, and we would be, shoot, I looked this up yesterday with a calculator. What is it? I can't do it, somebody will calculate and figure it out, but we, somewhere between 3 and 5% of that will, would be our share of the grant to match of the 128,000 or whatever, so
26.
126,000.
How many units will that buy?
That's gonna get us 14 units, 28 bottles, and
That mask and the whole,
masks, and also a RIT. There's a whole new NFPA standard. There's a portable one you can carry over your shoulder with a mask and regulator already on it. So if somebody has either a patient or a victim or one of our people go down because one has failed, you can just slap the thing on them and do some. Let's see, the second one we found for is the fire engine again for the replacement for 1031. Oh wait, I have the total right there, it'd be 6,300 on our match. And the engine is still around $410,000 with a match of approximately $20,000. And so those have to be budgeted for fiscal year 2021 also, so we'll be working on that in the budget process in a couple of months. The VFA grant was submitted for reimbursement on January 15th, and that should be coming back in March, like we discussed. It's $9,800 that will be reimbursed back to us. Submitted tax documents for 2019, the 1099s and the 1096 of our activity, and worked on the annual report with Patricia and Bob. Upcoming meetings and events, the Lookingglass Block Run, sponsored by Roseburg's cross country team, is March 7th. We've been providing safety and first aid. Safety and first aid for that for a couple of years, so we're going to do that again this year. And the same day, there's a new event called the Navigation Challenge. That's going to be being held at the old dump site. It's going to be the first event they held up there. And it's there's 10 teams from all over Washington, Idaho, and Oregon, and they've placed GPS targets up there, and they're going to be doing a GPS course. And then once they get to the GPS point, there's 5 or 6 other compass things that they do, and then they do some overland, stretcher carrying, off-road vehicle repair, vehicle towing, reaching, all that kind of stuff. It's a competition. It's a low speed. It's not a race or anything, but it's a low speed competition. You have a certain amount of time to accomplish a task, and somehow they decide who wins. This is being put on by Champaign Creek LLC, which is who owns, not owns, but leases that from the county right now. And it'll be their first event. I met with a representative of them about future activities and what they're going to be doing up there and that kind of stuff. They also gave us a key to the county gate there because we never had one. And then it's available for us to train. I know the sheriffs have been doing some dog training, search and rescue training up there, and we could probably use it for wildland training and some road rescue over the side stuff. It is privately leased now, so anything we do up there will have to sign a liability release. So hopefully that's you guys when we do that, or if we do. I'd never been inside that site before, and after it got logged, it's kind of like a disaster area. I would say it's never gotten replanted or anything. It's wow. Anyway, let's see. I met with Service Center Locksmith concerning possible digital lock purchase. They gave us an estimate, and we do business if we can. We let them talk about it.
Okay, just to verify, Chief Rhodes and Jerry, in your motion to pay the bills, were you including the Saving Electric check, or do we need a separate
Well,
motion?
that's listed in
Okay,
those
all right.
bills,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just wanted to verify. Okay.
Well, last part of that was, I'll say as long as I can hear that is going to be a natural gas powered generator. So Avista is installing, well, it's not, they're not installing it right now, but we're working with them to install natural gas to the facility at no charge. And then we're calculating the BTUs of that generator plus a new gas heating system if we choose to do that in next year's budget. We're going to eventually our plan is eventually switch to natural gas from our old road heater. And, anyway, so that'll be coming up in the next couple of months also.
You have an estimation on the cost of that from the gas company?
For the installation's not gonna be in, but, as far as bringing the meter on our property, I think they're gonna do that.
Great.
Um,
And then the plumbing from their meter is on us, right?
Yeah, and then, well, that's gonna be part of the install on the generator. And then that generator's gonna be a LP backup. We're gonna have a separate LP tank as a backup if we lose natural gas.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Candace, for the minutes, do we have any outstanding business and old business?
No,
Okay, any board member know of any outstanding business? Seeing none, we'll proceed to new business, and I believe we have a presentation. Okay.
and you are
I'm AJ Chitwood.
AJ Chip.
I'm gonna chip those things, paper soup.
Oh, this is on the digital log.
So, several years ago, Rich called me that the lock had broken on the door when they were trying to get in for a Thursday night grill. I came out, did the best I could to get it back up and working. About 2 months later, it broke again. That lock is actually outdated. We can't get parts for it anymore. So I told Rich that the next time it breaks, we're going to replace it. I don't know what he's done, because that was, what, 2 years ago? And it hasn't broke since. Whether he's told the guys quit beating on it or what. But Chief Rhodes and Rich came to me, I don't know, a month ago before holidays, I don't remember, and asked what some of their options were. Because they are, like Steve said, you know, when they get rid of somebody, they do want to change the codes because of all the, you know, millions of dollars of equipment sitting in this facility. So this particular model lock is the one that we've been installing and selling to the other departments in the county. And the reason for that is its capabilities. Every firefighter, every EMT, paramedic, whatever, has their own combination to get in, so that when Rich leaves, Steve calls me, I come out, and it gets deleted. Or there's a separate computer program that you guys can purchase yourself to do it by yourself. If down the road, and I've done it for 10 Mile once, they came in on a Monday morning or something and they had some equipment that wasn't where it belonged. So we went out and we were able to plug into the lock and see who was in over the weekend. So that's a perk to this lock. The one that I have proposed is actually the big brother of the one that I have here. It has a capability, because the big thing that they were concerned about was they get called for a fire, first guy's in, they come to the door, they're doing their thing, getting the trucks ready, the next guy comes in, adrenaline's going, are they going to bash their nose on the door because they're used to the door being unlocked, because that's the way they do it now. The next model up has an electronic button that as they come to the door, they push it, it puts the lock in an unlocked state automatically. And then as they leave, they push the button and it locks it. So they're already used to, as they're pulling out, somebody's having to flick the lock back out. So that's what I'm proposing. Chief Rhodes has the estimate with him. I think I saw it tonight. Right. Basically, what the estimate has come down to is, I think, like just over $20 more than what the lock itself costs. Labor, installation, all of that, man hours, tech time is being donated back to the department. So that's one of the perks, not perks. One of the things that I do is support the volunteer fire departments and the emergency services. I was a deputy for 7 years, so I understand what it's like to need the right equipment for the job. Any questions or, yeah?
Yeah, so the model that you're recommending is not the T3?
Well, the T3 is the family.
Oh, the family. Okay.
It is the 3200.
That's the one that will
That's-
have the...
That has the button.
push
Yep.
button. So 3200 is the one. And that can have up to 2,000 user
to
codes.
2,000 users, and I think that one does 1,500 events, which means that whereas some of the models only store like 500 events.
Oh, if you need to check
If we
it.
go back and track it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and I just want to see what else. So it's weatherproof
Is
from
that
minus
keypad lit up?
31 degrees.
It does not light up. That is the only downfall. That's the only downfall of this one. And I went to a factory rep 2 years ago, and that was the big thing that he hears from people is we'd like a light up keypad. The reason they don't do that is for battery life.
So what happens if the battery goes out?
So it has a key override,
Okay.
and we've actually got these installed all over the county and other places, and I've never once had a customer say they've been locked out because the battery died.
It'll
What's
start,
the-
It starts,
it'll squawk at you.
it starts giving you
Expectancy?
Oh, talk, Steve.
years. Some places, 2-3 years before it starts squawking at you that the batteries are getting low.
AJ, our view works for security outfit.
I put them in my pocket, so I didn't ruin them.
Thanks, sir.
So to understand on these locks, these are commercial grade locks that the city, the county, multiple fire departments, commercial buildings, all use these. So they're a tried and true tested lock.
And there shouldn't be a problem installing on that
Oh, no,
particular type
Correct.
of door?
And the company will stand behind their product.
Okay. Now,
So-
that, it looks like, can that be broken in?
We will make sure before we walk away from the door that it cannot be.
Okay.
Can't put your credit
Can't
card.
No
put
one can
credit
use a
card in.
credit
Yeah.
card to slip in.
We'll put a plate over the hole if we have to, and
Besides the tracking capabilities, which, you know, for accountability, you know, when we change the combination on this lock, we might change it tonight, but now we've got to get a hold of every single firefighter to let them know that the combination's been changed.
Right.
Or maybe we, you know, at least the officers know, but we forgot to tell one of our drivers. Now, everybody has their own combination that they remember, and if for some reason we have to change it, we can delete it. You know, a board member leaves, a firefighter leaves, we just take that
Yeah.
combination out of the system.
So you mentioned like we could get software to install on our computer, and then does it work by Bluetooth?
no, it's got a cable that plugs in.
So the computer has to be plugged in by cable to it, so we would want to do it with the
Like,
laptop?
yeah, I use a little tablet.
Well, the fire department has a
Yeah.
laptop, so that might be the most effective way to do it.
How
And
hard
that
is
way
it to
you would
change
have,
batteries?
you would have control over that.
It's not.
There's one screw right here, and we do one of two ways. You can buy a separate battery pack, a second battery pack that sits on a shelf. You unplug the battery pack, put the new one in, or it takes 5 AA inside that battery pack. So, you know, a lot of places that are worried about that quick change,
They're
they have a battery.
not proprietary.
Nope.
Is that a non-volatile memory so that when the battery's out and the other one goes in, there's no loss of
Correct.
data?
As long as somebody doesn't hold one of these buttons down for like 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's got a residual.
It's got a resistor in it to help hold some power.
The reason they approached me, we were talking about this because we had to change, and we've had to change in the past, we've had, even on Explorers and some folks, you know. So I told them, because this is not budgeted in this year's budget, so we're gonna run this through the normal budget process in the facility budget for upcoming, which is only a couple months from now.
So you
So,
feel
yeah,
that
fiscal
the lock in its current state is still usable until the next budget period?
But I think the benefits of this will be, I think security wise and everything else, and I think,
I think it's
I'm
great.
gonna guess that we might get reimbursed.
Is that only one lock for one door?
Yeah, I think that's all you guys have, is just the one extra door.
And Steve, do you have the information on the cost of the computer program also?
It's all in there, yep.
You have it all?
And then, it looks like it's like a perfect right up the alley for
Well,
SDAO,
it's-
safety grant and security grant
Oh.
too. So that would be a reimbursement after we purchase
Right.
it
Make sure they understand.
Good point.
for next year.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh,
So, just to let you guys know, it's $13.58 is the quote, so that's a pretty expensive lock, but that's.
Is
why
that
I-
with the software or not?
That's with the software.
That's everything installed in,
It's
that was,
1,000 or 1,300?
1,300, not
Oh,
2,000.
that's.
But
a 13 lock.
You know, in our
Protecting,
department,
oh, that's pennies.
$1,358 is a lot of money to our
What's the
department.
original
I mean,
price?
we make our taxes 65,000 a year, so that's.
Right,
what
but
we're saying.
especially if we can get a grant to cover
It's
at
reimbursed.
least part, if not all of it.
So we just recently changed when our past president left, so hopefully we won't have to change again before July, but we might have to.
So give you an idea of what you're getting. The lock itself is $13.51. The total bill is $13.58
that includes.
So only $7 for the
installation,
software?
for the software and installation because of the discount.
Because you're donating back your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
And it'll go with your lengthy grant, or all your grants you're writing.
So, does it use a USB wire or has
well, to the computer it uses USB and then it's a proprietary
it
pin.
proprietary? Okay.
Ooh, you have Jerry's interest.
There's one in every group.
Yeah, he likes that.
Too bad he won't be here when we get the new lock.
Oh, yeah, we're talking
Sure.
21, right?
I just
We're,
like the
we're
little
purchasing it
sling
before
on
my
it.
term is up.
Anyway, is there any other questions for him? So, so this will go through the normal budget process, and hopefully, if everything gets approved around July or something, we'd have something sooner.
Thank you for coming.
No?
Thank you, AJ. Okay, any other new business? All right, seeing none, President's report, as I just newly mentioned on the job, enjoying to be here, and that's the sum of my report right now.
Being the previous president, I have no report.
Okay.
Glad you're here.
Other directors?
I'll save board member comments.
Okay. Candace?
Nope.
All right, board member comments. Gary, you want to start?
Yes, Steve, you mentioned about things for the next budget. Are we going to need to start advertising for any prospective budget committee members?
I gotta look at the list, I think we were good. I think we still have 1 year left.
As long as the people or community members are still willing to come back and do
And,
that.
I have that in there, and, we will do that. We're about a month and a half or 2 months out to start thinking about that. I mean, we're.
Well, but if we need to advertise, it'd be
Right.
better to have a month or
Let me,
more to
Let
advertise.
me, we'll have that on the agenda for next meeting, maybe, and I'll bring you guys,
Okay.
what our status is again. I'll check it,
Yeah.
I'll call everybody.
For budget committee,
And then our,
community members.
we'll be having a meeting with our officers and stuff, where we're gonna start talking about what they want, or what they desire this year, and that kind of stuff.
Candace, any comments?
Nope.
I'm good.
Okay. Any public comments for any business to be proposed that wasn't on our agenda?
I just want comments about stuff, but she can go.
I'm just wondering, you're president now, so is he automatically vice president or?
He always was
You
vice
have-
president.
Okay, so he was acting president, so that's all clear and good with your, okay.
Just had a couple of questions, probably of Steve.
Yeah.
How and where is Vista planning on connecting for supplying gas?
They're gonna have to come underneath the road. It's on the other side of the street, right in front of ours.
You got that line that goes down to the little
Right,
station down here?
right. So they have a distribution line from that, they tap in right there past the store, across the street from the school. And it goes to Dairy Loop, and it goes to just partway up Colonial. I think it only makes a few houses up.
Daisy Lane has
Daisy,
a
yeah.
line.
They only have, I think, 37 customers, they said, in Lookingglass.
Yeah,
Because
because
it
when they
was-
put all the little yellow things sticking up every place, I didn't know if any of them ever done.
So there's 37 customers. I wish it made it to my house, I'd have it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
never made it to my house.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's located on the other side of the street. They're gonna have to, they bore through with those underground
Yeah.
machines, and they're laying that plastic pipe, it's not plastic, it's some PEV or PE, something like that, but it's flexible, and they can just shove it right underneath the ground. And they'll bring the meter to the corner of our station. And,
No, that was what I was interested in, how you were getting it together.
I was just gonna say, in regards to the lot, I've lived out here for about 20 years now, and I think this area has escaped a lot of the crime that happens in town, and I can say I've seen a lot of bad elements, and hopefully that we just have to be diligent on making sure, because that only keeps the honest man out, still, keeps people, but I mean, anybody can break windows and get in, but it's just, we've been really lucky that our area hasn't been hit a lot. And we know some people, they have a good part of their life and they're doing good, and then they go downhill, and then they still got a number to get in the door.
Yeah, it's fortunate that we have this security surveillance
Yeah, cameras
system
now.
now.
Yeah. Just a good thing. I'd put one of them on my house if I could afford it.
Any other public comments?
I'm getting ready to put cameras on my right? But they're not worried about it, but whole thing in the eye or so.
Okay, terrific. If there are no other comments, no other board comments, we will go ahead and meet again on March 11th, 2020, 7 p.m. here. This meeting stands adjourned.
Very good, Rob.
Nice job.
I'll bring my gavel next time.
There you go. At least get a hand.